one day we can work on that neighborhood. I feel personally that I'm a product of my time. So, meaning that certain things as a habit, the network of friends.
So wait, because I want to make sure everyone here, so it's like the environment, right? Like I can only go so far as my environment. It's kind of it. Okay.
It's like a box.
I got you.
Network of friends, learning efficiency, and discipline.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that. Give me a round of applause. Matter of fact, since you were the first grade person to give you a copy of this book, because matter of fact, there's a whole chapter on how to change your network of friends, or find a network of friends that supports you. Maybe not change, but add or supplement. Yeah. And just please make sure you find me after. I will sign and write something, like not just like a signature, but like write a note or something. So find me after. All right. Anyone else want to share? Yes.
Not reaching my full potential. I know what to do, and I stop at a certain level, and I just can't go higher than that. I know what to do, but I need to limit myself to achieve that. That's what's hard.
Let me ask you a question. What's that like for you?
It's hard. I mean, like, I know I want to do it. I know I can. It's just the willpower to do it. I'm just like, I know what's the safest thing to do. I'll do that. And I don't want to do that. I want to actually do it.
I don't think it's willpower. Here's what it is. I get that you have a strong personality, right? Can you tell me a time of something you really wanted to get done that you get done? Anything it was, like outside education. So you really want to get a job, nothing was going to get in your way, right? And you made it happen, right? So here's what I want to highlight. This is important. Tell me again. Definitely. Thank you for doing this, because here's what I want to highlight about the lid, right? The lid is deceptive. The lid will make us believe things about ourselves that aren't necessarily true. So I'll give you an example. Does anyone here know anyone that's addicted to video games? Anybody? Okay. So, yeah. I know people who are addicted to video games who will tell other people that they're lazy, right? And in my mind, I'm like, you sat there till 5 in the morning until you got to the last level. You did not leave. I'm like, you're not lazy. It's just the other stuff doesn't engage. Like, you have lids about the other stuff. But if you really like the video game, you'll stay to the beginning. You ever notice to see somebody play Street Fighter till like 5 in the morning or something like that? Or, so you got to be careful about, is it the willpower? Because when you need to get a job, you need to make it happen, right? I want to peel back, because this is important. And listen to this, because when you listen to, say your name one time? When you listen to Devaney, there might be something in here that relates or resonates to yours, right? Here's what I want to peel back. It's not that you don't have the willpower, it's that the prospect, I think this is what's scary for you. Let me know if I'm wrong. It's what it would mean for you to fail at education, and what you think it would say about you. That to you is more scary, and it gets more in the way than anything willpower. Because you not having a job, you're like, I need to make this happen. You don't think twice, right? You gotta make it happen. You seem like a leader. I get the sense that you're supporting people. There's people who count on you, rely on you, right? You're the friend that people call when they need advice, right? Do y'all get that? I don't know this woman, by the way, right? Now, and you're usually holding their burdens up, right? Who holds up your burdens? Like, no one. No one, right? Beyonce has a song called "Who Saves the Hero," right? I think your lid is a little bit closer, and I want you to think about it. It's more related to, like, if you didn't, whatever value you're putting on education in this role, it's what you think it would say about you if you didn't reach it. Maybe you think it would mean that you're not enough, even though in other areas you're clearly competent, you're clearly capable. I bet you're a good worker. I bet you at your job they say nice things about you, right? I want to emphasize, I don't know this, this wonderful woman, right? But here she is, super effective in the other area in her life because of a belief. Remember the grasshopper, it jumps 10 times as high, but when it comes to education, you jump and what happens? Yes. Now here's the question, are you enough? Okay, but it's something you're working on, that's okay. I appreciate that honesty. So I want you to reflect on all the other areas where you are valued, where you are competent, where you are capable. Because I guarantee you there's someone in whose life you're making a difference right now. I guarantee you there's people that look up to you. I guarantee you the people who call you for advice, they think the world of you. They have no idea that you even doubt yourself in these ways. They don't. They don't, right? And I think that the weight of having to put on this, I've got it all together, can eat away at you sometimes. Let me ask you a question. What would happen if people knew that sometimes you don't have it all together?
I would fear more so the judgment of that.
The judgment, yes. Outside of the story you would tell yourself about the judgment, is there anything that would actually happen? Like would like a monster come out? I just ran you.
No. It's the older opinionated mother.
Ah, got it. Your latest fear is disappointing you. Or something close to that.
Yeah.
I want to take a pause. Do you see what's happening here? Like, do you see the impact that not listening to these beliefs has? Like, I could have asked you your goals for this year. I'm going to save this much. I'm going to go on vacation to DR. Like, you know, we could have did all that, right?
Right.
But this idea would have showed up. And what's it like, that fear of disappointing you? Like, what does it stop you from doing?
If I don't accomplish this, I feel like I'm not as smart as I have to go with masters, PhD. I'm not original in my family. I'm just low. So I want to be up there with them.
Yeah. First of all, is anyone relating to this? Okay, anyone at some level is relating to this? Yeah, some level, right? So here's what I want you to know. A couple of things. I want you to stand and be able to separate how much of that is a story and how much of that is based on what's actually happening. Like how much of that is a story and how much of that is actually happening. So here's what we know facts. You have siblings, right? You have one sibling, okay. Here's what we know is a fact too. So you have a sibling who probably has some level of academic achievement.
He graduated from city.
Got it. So there's a brother who graduated a school, right? Those are the facts. Do you see how everything else is a story? Now, here's the thing. I don't want to discredit the story because I'm sure that there are things that support your story, right? Like, so for example, I want to tease out. Has anyone ever seen someone have a story and then look for things that validate the story? I'll give you an example of this. Does anyone have a friend who's like, oh, there's no good men out there? Right? And then they read all the gossip about all the bad men, and all the information they actually take in is about all the crappy men, right? So they can literally walk right past the library, but real good dude, but they're like reading US Weekly about this another dude is a jerk. You know what I mean? And he's literally like right there, you know, getting the coffee, right? So, but you ever notice like how it just can't turn the blinders off? So I want to introduce you to the idea that some of this might be a story. Right? And here's the thing. There are things that are going to support the story. But the question is, how much do we only put our blinders on to things that support? Because I guarantee you that there's other things that don't support that story. But it's what we choose to accept. Right? So, here's what I want to let you know. Because I've been okay? I'm the youngest. But my brother, I would say, is more successful. And for a long time, I would prepare myself. And what I realized, everybody wants their own place. And I am just so proud of you for sharing that, because what you're not realizing is by sharing that, you opened and freed up a lot of people in this room. How many people benefited from her sharing that? Get around the And believe it or not, there's a lot of people in this room who are probably dealing with the same thing, who didn't have the courage to say or didn't even know how to articulate that. So by you tapping into that, it begins on your journey. I'm not going to say it's going to go away like tomorrow, but I think if you never faced it, right, this idea of like, why do I have a fear of disappointment? Right? And we can talk a little bit after about, I had to deal with some similar things. I want to talk to you about like how I do, but I want to let you know that you're not alone here, and you are definitely more than enough. You're a leader, and you're empowering this world. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right. to do, guys. How much time do I have? Alright, so here's what I want you to do. So can I have 2 more volunteers? One. So what I want everyone to do is I want you to focus on, I'm going to give you a couple minutes. These sheets is called the Year of Awesome, right? I want you to focus on the part of the sheet that said experiences. Because a lot of people talk about setting goals. I want you to write down what experience would be possible for you if your lid wasn't in the way. Like if you knew like I could remove my lid and wouldn't come back, what experience would be possible? So I'll give you an example. I'll pull mine up. So all right. So I'll put some of my experiences, right? So if my lid wasn't in the way, some experiences I would have is I would know what it's like to feel organized and ahead of thing. I'm very creative, but I'm very disorganized. Yeah, we have more. What it's like to plan vacations ahead of time instead of last minute. I'm a teen services director for the Boys and Girls Club, so just inspiring my students, make a difference in the culture. And the movie I'm looking forward to is Black Panther. And the albums I'm looking forward to, Chance the Rapper's coming out, Nas and Migos. Alright, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to just really quickly, just take a minute or 2. Because right now I want you to operate like your lid is not in the way. If your lid is not in the way, if you're focusing on your one word, what experiences would you plan or would you want for yourself this year? Yeah.
How would you know how to do this?
Yeah, so like, so personally, like, for you, it's like, yo, just the experience that you want, not just the goal. Like, I want to know what the experience was like. It's just like, I have to worry about me. It's like, know that I got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm going to go back and kind of explain this a little bit. So again, the experience is just imagining, because I don't think a lot of times we don't get to listen to ourselves and imagine what we want for our lives. Imagine an experience that you want. You know, personally, you know, an experience you might want is, if I didn't put the one that I have, I want to experience what it's like to be the one that organizes the family functions. I have a huge family. If anybody knows Haitians, we got big families, right? So I want to know what it's like to be the one, everyone's hitting me up, hey Bert, what's going on? We doing a barbecue this year? Yeah, don't worry guys, I got everything. Like, I can imagine that feeling of like, oh wow, everyone's coming to me to organize the family thing, or everyone's coming to me to organize movie night. Normally, you know, my other siblings do that, or my other cousins do that. I want to know what that feels like, because I don't, right? So what's an experience? And if I didn't have my lid and I wasn't scared to make mistakes, I would say, hey guys, I'm going to raise my hand, I want to organize the next family, I want to bring us together. You know what I'm saying? In terms of a money experience, how do you think about a different experience with money that you want to have? For me, I want to know what it's like to not have to worry about money. You know, sometimes like I'll make a purchase and I'll be like, oh, was that the right, can I cover? You know, just to know, wait, I already budgeted, I know this is my play cash, I don't have to think about this vacation, I can just book it right now, right? I want to know what that feels like. Because the thing is, if you have a feeling and an experience, people are more motivated by feelings and experiences than a goal. If I told you right now, oh, I'm gonna give you an extra $1,000 a month, that might sound exciting, but what you're really excited about is what that $1,000 a month would do for you. Maybe it gives you freedom, maybe it lets you travel, maybe it lets you, you know, dip your toes in the black sand in Hawaii, right? While you're drinking a, I see you smiling, you like that, right? But when I said 1,000, you weren't smiling like that, but you smiled for the experience. So I want you to think about the experience, because what I want you to do is, with the remaining time, I'll have you pick a partner, you can turn those experiences into goals, but just think about the experience. While you're working on that, I want to share something with you. So, I was thinking about why is it that my lid keeps coming up? Remember I told you guys we were going to analyze my failures today? I was thinking about why my lid keeps coming up, and this is the reason. Can anyone tell me what they see here? Old lady, right? Anyone else see something different? A young lady. Interesting. Which one is it?
Both. It's an optical illusion.
It's whichever one you choose to focus on. So right here, if you look at it like this is the chin, it's an old lady. But if you look at it like this is a necklace and this is her chin, it's a young woman. You guys see that?
Oh, shit.
So the reason I say that is, and how are you going to look at your life this year? Because both things are there. It's going to be a chaotic, stressful mess. Yeah, that could be there. Or it's going to be an incredible, eye-opening experience where I challenge myself and I do new things and I'm really just living my new potential and becoming that person I always wanted to be, right? Both are there. It's like, how do you choose to focus it? The reason I share that is because I was analyzing my failures and I was like, wait a minute. You know that thing, like if you know better, you do better? I know better, but I don't always do better. So I was analyzing my failures and I was like, all right, something's got to give, right? So I'm going to share this with you. I don't think I've really shared this with too many people, but like I said, I wanted to make a commitment. I know I was speaking to you and I wanted to be integrity. So I was like, you know what? One of the reasons my lid keeps coming up is because of how I see myself. I compare myself to my friends who are more successful. I compare myself sometimes to a rub, right? I told them this. I'm not saying anything they didn't know. And I compare myself, and my first thing that I look at are my inadequacies, not the things I've accomplished. And so if I'm looking at this picture, I would see it one way, even though there's all the evidence for the other way. So one of the things that I said, you know what, I gotta do something different. I'm gonna share with you how I'm investing in myself this year. So this is my new therapist. So I signed up for BetterHelp.com. I told them about my anxiety issues. I told them about my struggles with depression. And I said, you know what, I'm a functioning person. I've been able to have some successes, but I always run into the same patterns. And I feel like I just need to be able to force myself to take some time out of my week, every week, to just be able to talk about these things and to be able to really examine these things. Because it's not about removing the lid one time. And I know this is taboo in the African American community to talk about this, but I don't feel bad about it. I feel like mental fitness is just important and emotional fitness is just as important as physical fitness. Everybody talks about I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to be mentally fit. Because I think what happens is I get in my own way and I sabotage myself. And I'm okay sharing that with you guys because I know that's what it's going to take for me to be the brother I want to be. I want to be an uncle soon. I'm terrified of that. And it's like, I'm going to be babysitting and like who am I going to help bring into this world? Like my brother and his wife are very busy. So like I'm going to be spending a lot of time with my little nephew. I want to make sure that I'm bringing my best self and I'm removing my lid and I'm not passing on my lid to other people. Because everyone here is a leader. So a lot of times when you remove your lid, you help others remove their own. So when we were having that conversation, I guarantee you there were other people you're helping remove their lid. So I want you to think about it's beyond you, it's not about you. That's the reason I'm sharing that. So I have a session literally at 6:30 today. After here, I'm gonna hang out for some questions and I'm gonna go to my session. Because I'm committed to not removing my lid one time and not just looking good, but committed to, just as committed to my emotional and mental fitness as I am my physical fitness. And so my hope for all of you is that these experiences, they're positive for you. They are. Believe me, they are. And even if I've struggled with believing that myself, I've seen it happen. And I know when it doesn't happen, I know why it doesn't happen. And I think now you know why it doesn't happen too. It's what are we going to put in practice? So what I want everyone to do right now, because remember, in order to release your goals, to release your dreams, you have to what? Remove your what? In order to achieve your goals, you have to what? In order to achieve your goals, you have to what?
and keep it off. Exactly. And I think all those experiences are possible for you and more. My challenge to you is before today, I want you to get with at least 1 or 2 other people, say, this is my experience sheet. Let's talk, let's meet up sometime next week to talk about how we can turn these experiences into goals. Because what I had up here, I can show you this after, but I turned all those experiences I turned into goals, and one of my goals on the left is to drop a mixtape. So we're gonna give it another shot. So thank you so much. Before I leave, I'd be remiss if I didn't say a big thank you to Jason. This is one of the first people who believed in me. Before I really believed in myself, he's been bringing me here for 6, 7. I know this is the 10th anniversary, so I'm very honored to be here. But he's been bringing me back here for years. He's one of the first people that brought me to speak. I also wanted to highlight my good friend Darlene, who's in the crowd. Great friend, supported me through some really, really tough times when I was like not even aware of my lid. So phenomenal person. If you get a chance, please connect with her. She's just a great human, a great soul, a great individual. So thank you. The best thing that you guys can do for me is to go achieve all those experiences and the goals and continue to live your lid. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Thank you so much.
I know we're running late, so I'm going to keep it short. You know I talk too much, right? So one of the things that I love about Arel and Bert being college roommates and having become successful both of them is they model the type of individuals that we foster in the academy. They heard you, bro, right? He doesn't even have a roommate, he had a housemate, Philip. Both of them were in the academy, both of them to Tufts, and now he's living with Enoch, who also was in the academy. He's living with here. We've had people get married, have children together. We've had 3 marriages in our group alone. We've had people who have exchanged apartments, like I'm moving out, wanting to move in and take over. We've had people like be best men and best women at weddings and all sorts of other stuff. Even the person who was the witness at my wedding was somebody who was from our group. So I think it's like the unique bond that they had, which they shared with me very early, is a great model that we use. Because I think when I talked about the bridges that I want to create. It's not going to happen. Like these are the seeds that are all being planted. But down the road, it's that you've made this connection here that Guyana and Jamaica are going to like foster each other and support each other when Donald Trump is trying to, shut things down. Or I wasn't supposed to say his name. I'm sorry. Or Togo and Ghana are going to work together on a project. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be the leaders from those areas, and you guys are going to take the roles, and you're going to have somebody who you know. And I believe in it. I truly believe in my heart that it's going to happen. So I appreciate Bert for coming. By the way, he's an extraordinary individual. He plays it low key, right? Because you saw Ralph, right? The college roommates. And when they were here last year, they were telling me about what they were doing, right? With the text messages every day. Did you do your push-ups? Did you do your pull-ups? The whole kind of thing. So it's hard, right? Ralph's here. He's like, I shake when he's around. So, Bert is like, he's an extraordinary individual. I remember when we volunteered, he's volunteered with us. He's come out. He came out to sing in Chinatown with us a couple of years ago. I mean, he is a humble individual, but he is an extraordinary individual as well. So I thank you, Bert, for being here today and coming out. Shut it off.